Kia ora. Welcome to Neat and Not by the Sea. My name is Catherine and my pronouns are she, her. And this is a Flosstube extra about our inspiration Bunting thing that we've done. This is Fiona. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Kia ora, my name's Fiona. My pronouns are she, her. And this is my sewing space.
I know, isn't it lovely? You can tell we're not in my house.
And I've never done this before, so
but look at my powers of convincing.
Just stick with us.
So one of the funny things is that for the last few months, I'm really aware that I've been talking about quitting the Flosstube. Every time I record, I'm like, I'm tired, I don't want to do Flosstube. But such lovely things have happened through Flosstube. Not my hair. But I've met Fiona through Flosstube, and she's a local, so we've become friends, so it's just so lovely. And so maybe I shouldn't quit, I should just stop quitting and moaning. Anyway, I convinced Fiona, she's been super brave, and I've already warned her that I'm not editing, so we'll see how it goes. We hope you enjoy it, but we really wanted to share this year-long process that we've been through. So if we just...
It's been fun. It's been great.
It has been great. We've stretched ourselves, both of us in different ways, and we've taken turns to kind of be creative, and it's been good. So we're going to talk about these. You know, lift yours up. So this is a year's worth of the thingy.
Already on it.
Yeah.
Tight.
Oh yes, she's more organised. I mean, I've been faffing for the last 20 minutes.
Catherine made a beautiful one. It's just a piece of, you know, that.
Yeah. What's that called? Grow grain, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was sorting myself out here, and I was saying, I think my favourite thing is my cord. Not true, but almost. Okay, so I think what we'll do is we'll go month by month, and we'll just show you. And I won't edit, but I will then take a video showing like one above the other, slowly, and then I will tack that onto the end of the video, so you can see them a little bit more detail. Okay, so we didn't start in January. We started in November
Last year.
Would you like to go first with your first November piece, which was...
Oh, I think that was my prompt.
No, it was my prompt. Because I had ulterior motives.
Yes.
I knew what I wanted to do. So this was based on...
So that's my first one, an artist you
admire,
yeah.
And so
my one was Mandy Patullo.
Oh, that's right. We do love her work.
A piece of her work.
We both have a piece of her work, quite different each of us.
Me, I think.
We're going to be interrupted. We're going to be interrupted. The husbands are always trying to get onto our Flosstube.
Just wait, we're filming.
No, it's okay. Fiona's husband's trying to get on the Flosstube.
That's done.
Okay. Is it?
But we've lifted it on windows at all, but it's locked. But it needs ESC code.
Yeah, because it's...
Does it look better? Oh, that's amazing.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, Fiona sounds amazing. I'll tell you a little bit about what's happened.
We'll promote Cardi now.
So this piece is by Mandy Patullo, which is really beautiful in person. So Mandy Patullo is a British artist, and I have one of her pieces, but mine's a bird.
So got a bird.
I win.
It's not a competition, but I win. I had an angel the other day, and I was nearly caved, and all that angel just looked lovely.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Very good. Okay, so that was your Mandy Patullo.
So that was my Mandy Patullo.
And I did something inspired by the quilters of Gee's Bend, which is a group of quilters from the American South, an area called Gee's Bend. Everybody knows this. It's beautiful. They're amazing. And I think I did a really good inspo based on that, so I'm very happy.
Yeah, that's great.
And so that was my prompt. I got that one in quick. Next prompt.
So I had the next one. So my next one was Patchwork Garden. Which was sort of, I think I thought I found a book, speak properly. Found a book from Janet Bolton in a knock shop.
Oh, see, Janet Bolton's another great British artist, textile artist.
And I found two of her books now in knock shops for like $2 each. It's like,
really? Also, just as an aside, can we just say, like, make friends with Fiona? She's an amazing op shopper.
Like a rummage.
She's committed to the rummage. She gets great stuff.
So I just used different patchwork techniques. Oh, that's good. Longer arms.
I've got longer arms.
Yeah, and did it in kind of a potager garden type shape.
Yeah.
And
of course, once it wasn't my prompt, it was really hard. I might take these off. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe like this. Okay, so this is my version of, what was it? A patchwork garden. So at the beginning I was trying to be really good about following the prompts.
Yeah.
So they are patchwork pieces of fabric, but they're all dyed, naturally dyed, so from the garden. And because I do use some like insect dyes, but this is all garden stuff. And I did eco printing. The top is eco printed. Did curves, and then there's very faint embroidery, which I really love. It's like ghostly embroidery.
So eco printing the flower.
Yeah.
Flower
So these are roses. These are roses.
Oh,
Rose
okay.
petals.
I never had got that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty.
I can bring you. I've got so much calendula. I can bring you that as well. So that was the second one. And also, for most of them, I forgot last dated and the year as well. And Fiona's done that as well to remember.
Mine's just stamped on though. Not very creative.
But you've done it on all as
my
well.
stamping, but I have done it.
Yeah,
I just
very
need to put my name
Very good.
somewhere on it. So
Next
that's the third
prompt.
one.
Yeah. So that was my prompt again. My comfort zone. It was a technique that belonged to a part of the world that was not natively English speaking. That was a long sentence. So I did Palestinian embroidery. So this is a chest piece from a thobe, and it's a Gaza thobe. So in Palestine they have like different areas have different
Motifs.
so a village will have its own motifs and its own thingies that mean something to them, and the colours as well, because they were naturally dyed. So like Gaza reds would have been different, because if you naturally dye in, like if you use madder to make red, the soil and the air and the rain will influence the eventual colour you get. So they're all slightly different. So I'm super happy with this one. Yeah, I'm very pleased. And you did?
And I did Korean bojagi. Is that how it's pronounced?
Pogaji?
Pogaji.
Pogaji maybe?
Yeah.
Which is very lovely. I did
So
steal one of those.
Yeah, I had a book on it, and so it's just the way they put them together, the way they sew them, and then around the side I've done, which is probably very hard to see, sort of 3 stitches at a time, and then moved on and done another 3 stitches.
Yeah, 3 running stitches and a gap, right? 3 running stitches and a gap, which is the bit I
technique
stole.
that they use. Yeah.
Yeah, because I love it. I think it's you'll see it in the video at the end. It's very, very beautiful. And
Nice for Anita.
And this, in effect, it's a patchwork technique, but in effect, it's almost like
I don't know if you can see, but it's kind of probably not.
on the inside. If you can see
window.
both sides, yes. If you can see the inside, it is a little bit like a felled seam, right?
Yeah.
It's very beautiful, and you did it in linen as well, which looked very pretty.
I don't normally work in solid colours, so that was pushing me a wee bit.
But you did have them.
Yeah, I know. they were wee squeeze, not much bigger than that. So I know what I can do.
Nice.
So I like doing that.
That is lovely. I really liked it.
Yeah.
I particularly, I haven't tried this technique yet, but I particularly liked the visual look of the edging.
Of the edging. Yeah.
See, you're not tight. You can really see the pulling. You are a gentle stitcher.
Okay.
I'm a lot more internal.
Just calm down.
Yeah, just calm down. Okay, so what was the next one?
The next one was mine.
Yeah.
And it was to use a patchwork block or technique that you haven't used before. So I've never done. It's very simple.
You're very generous saying block or technique. It was never technique. It was block.
Block.
I stretched it.
I just have to include you. I did the spool block, which I've never actually done before, and used a couple of my Civil War reproduction fabrics. So that was probably my least favourite of the blocks we did, but anyway.
Well, it has to be one out of 12. You'll come up to my least favourite that I've done as well. So this, I should have rehearsed the names. Okay, I've got it on the back of embroidered it because bad memory. So this is what I did. It kind of is a block of a technique. So this was made by an enslaved woman in America. There are two of her quilts are in museums in America. 2 have survived, and her name was Harriet Powers, very famous. And the look is very nice. It's very like this, but I did
quite folk.
It is folky, yeah. And so these were enslaved people. We have to remember. So they didn't. I mean, it's just one of those tricky conversations. Personally, I take it that they haven't been, because they haven't had access to a few things, like maybe an embroidery class or like
magazines that had patterns or books.
Their style is very unique to them, which is very rich for me. Possibly one of the reasons why I don't go to classes is because then you end up with like 80 people that do the same thing or very, very similar.
It's very authentic.
It's very authentic. That's a good word.
Inspirations or
it just comes from the heart.
Outside,
they know how to sew and stuff. But I was just inspired by them. So this represents my house, and this represents Martin and I. This particular quilt that she did, Harriet Powers, is biblical. So I did put a cross there to kind of, it was a nod to her as well. And no further.
Have a look because they're beautiful quilts.
Beautiful. So if you just go to Google and put Harriet Powers quilts, there are two. Absolutely stunning, and they only get I don't think that they get displayed year round because of the light conditions.
There's actually a couple of good videos on YouTube too that talk about them and show them in a bit more detail.
A little bit like the Jean Bend women who have just such an innate sense of style.
Mute that.
We've had a husband interruption with great news. Shall we tell the great news?
Oh yes.
So the reason we had the husband interruption is because I poured a whole container, not voluntarily, by accident, a whole container of olive oil into the front seat of my car. So I made some preserved artichokes for a friend. Clearly did not close the lid properly and then drove to work. Half an hour. It had half an hour to pour out.
So it just slowly leaked while you were driving.
Maybe. The other thing that could have happened is I was fine until I parked in town at work, because you're manoeuvring and you're moving. Maybe it tipped at that point. Anyway, I then embroidered for half an hour in the car, thinking I'm not going to start work early. I'm always starting work and I don't want to. So I embroidered it. So anyway, it's hilarious, completely unusable. But Fiona had a couple of suggestions, but also she has a very handy son who has a business that does valeting, right?
Car detailing.
Car detailing. And so, do you think he could try?
So while we film, the car's away, or the seat's away.
But he's done it.
But he's done it.
He's done it. That's amazing.
What he can with his wet back thing. So.
Yeah, and I mean, it will cost a little bit to do this bit, but the main thing is that I said to Martin, okay, let's not bother with the insurance because the excess is 500. We'll get Fiona's son to clean it, and then I'll just buy a Guatemalan textile and make a seat cover. So everybody's happy. So it was a happy interruption. Okay, the next one.
Next one was to use wool.
That was my prompt. My prompt was wool because I had an ulterior motive and I wanted to do this. Now, what's the name of the woman that we both love and she's very good?
Maggie Bananami. Was it?
Bananami.
Bananami?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she's Maggie. Yeah. She's an amazing designer and teacher. She's American. Her work looks amazing online. Unlike mine. Mine's just crude. Where's my bird? I can't even see my bird. There is a bird here.
Oh, down the bottom.
I mean, part of the thing is that I don't... No, I did. So I did use some purchased wools. I purchased some in Geraldine once. And so these are like... What do they call them? Felted wool.
Felted wool.
Yeah. But the rest is wool felt. So this is a blanket. This was a suit. This is another blanket. I
love this.
I'm going to blame the tools. I know, I wanted to keep that. I'm just not thrilled. I do like the blanket stitch. Can you see the blanket stitch on the edge from the factory? I do have too many blankets at home. Anyway, it is what it is. It's okay. If a friend had made it, I'd be like, that's lovely. What's your problem?
Yeah.
But because it's mine, I'm just a bit disappointed.
Yeah.
Whatever.
No, I think it's lovely.
Yours is lovely, though.
And my one, I did the wool pennies. So I had a few circles already cut out. So I thought, I'll just use them and do that. And it was such relaxing stitching. Doing blanket stitch around them all. And yeah, I really enjoyed it.
And even though yours was so I mean, this is one of my favorites of Fiona's. But even though yours, you really covered everything. Fiona always
And I
finishes
did.
first.
I did black wool on the back rather than the spotty, beige spotty fabric that I've been using.
Oh, that's right, because you have a theme throughout with your
Yeah.
beige spotty.
And just a bit of piece of a doily, that you just got a doily or something
Nice.
to put my date on. So
Yes, because when we
Yeah.
cut a doily, we keep all the bits. We don't get rid of
no,
them.
no,
Lovely.
no problem.
Okay, so the next.
Right. Oh,
What's
this
your
one was a
prompt?
good one.
This was fun as well
Yeah, it
because
was.
I don't live in the mainstream world, and I see people doing like fabric swaps and like,
Yeah.
and I've never done that, and then it was Fiona's idea. So you tell us about your
So
idea.
the idea was to each have, we both collect men's shirts to use.
For patchwork fabric, you know.
Fabric. So it was to do swap 5-inch squares of patch of shirt fabric, but to not do it in person, to post them to one another so that we got something nice in the mail, which was quite exciting.
It was fun.
To do.
I don't remember the fabrics.
My one, I did, like you can see that, just like a still life basket of flowers.
I did love that.
Catherine
You made
gave
it
me a
so.
couple of, I thought I'd get blue, but I didn't got anything but blue.
I tried really hard not to give you blue because everything I have is blue. Because Martin and the op shops, you go to the op shops, it's all
It's all
blue
blue.
shirts.
Mm.
Yeah. So that kind of confused you a little
it
bit.
did a wee
Didn't it? You were like, what?
Well, I'd seen an idea of something, maybe on your floss cards that you made. And I thought, oh, that's where I'll do in the blue. No, I didn't get blue.
But I
So
love a
I-
couple of the things that you did.
I did a wee brooch down there with a wee cross-stitch bird on it, just, you know, 'cause I thought I'd do it.
Oh, but isn't that chicken scratch?
No, it's cross-stitch.
Oh, it's
No,
reminiscent
it's
of chicken
Remnant.
scratch.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, so this was a blouse. This wasn't a shirt.
Oh, right.
That I bought for myself.
I think
and
I
then
tea-dyed
the
that.
buttons popped.
So
Yeah,
it
it
had
is
a white
tea-dyed.
background.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
I tea-dyed that.
I love your hollyhocks. They're so gorgeous.
You'll
You'll get a
the
good.
fabrics. I wasn't that. Oh, you see on the back I put a pocket.
Oh, this is a
Sort of-
Hawaiian one.
I had a
Okay.
Hawaiian one.
You didn't know what to
Well,
do with the
what
Hawaiian.
do I do with that? That's how my hollyhock grew out. Grew out of that, just using the plain red from the flowers and doing little tiny circles to make my hollyhock.
It's amazing what you can. There you go. That's a good. It's amazing how you can't sometimes tell the origin of the fabric.
Yeah.
And so so the idea was that I would only use Fiona's fabrics. I wouldn't use my own shirts. That was the idea, I think. But Fiona sent me some great ones. So
Blue one.
blue. She stuck to the memo. But what was lovely about hers is that some of them, like for example this one, right, this one here is blue flowers on a white background. But when you use the back of the fabric, it actually had a different effect. So although I only got 5 fabrics, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 effects, as it were. So I was really happy with that. And I used red linen for the background. Nothing so terribly creative. But I had seen this fabric manipulation technique, and I wanted to try it. So, you know,
I've seen it before too.
Yeah.
Modern quilting technique.
yeah. And I've kind of always really drawn to fabric manipulation, but I never do anything about it. Oh, this is a great opportunity to do it. Yeah.
So
So
that was kind of the what was behind doing these, was to perhaps use techniques and things that we haven't used.
yeah, and not have to make a king size quilt.
Because we have enough of those.
Yeah, I do. I have 10 quilts at home,
Yeah.
hand stitched. Yeah, and on the back it's from That's what I was talking to you about. The quilt, the bed cover.
Oh, yeah, the bed cover.
What would you call it? It's not. They don't call it a bed. When I talk to all the women, comforter. That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's got the beautiful vintage flowers that I like, and it is quilted. I'm thinking that maybe this needs a bit of quilting. It looks a bit floppy. But anyway, love my backs as well.
Yeah.
So that was good. It's challenging though. Every time it's my prompt, I'm like, oh, this is easy. Every time it's the other prompt, I'm like, oh.
Mine was the same. Particularly for the next one. I was a bit
Oh yeah, this will know how Martin offensively said he preferred Fiona. Rude. So this one was my prompt and it was curves. So you can go first.
So I've done I think the mustardy, yellow mustardy background was a serviette. And I'm not sure what my navy, but I just sort of did something abstract with curves, and I, where is it, through the middle here somewhere, there's a bit of quilting, and that kind of curves, it winds its way around through there. I think I was doing some slow stitching that was just crosses on a piece, and I enjoyed it, so I put it on that as well. So
Nice.
So they're my curves.
Yeah, it's really cool. I did, for my curves, I was really interested in doing this sort of thing.
I love that. I wish I was doing something like that.
Well, I think what it was is because I'd just done I think I was either just finished or I was in the process of doing the wedding ring quilt for my daughter-in-law, and I clearly hadn't had enough, so I decided to try it with applique. But I like this idea of doing a curve and then keeping the curve. This is one of my favorite op shop finds. It was a blouse. It was kind of folksy blouse, but it was kind of new when I got it. Beautiful green. And as soon as I tried it on, I was like, oh, this is why it got sent to the op shop, because it didn't sit right on your shoulder, so it kind of, over the day, it was just uncomfortable throughout the day. You had to kind of keep adjusting it.
Yeah.
And I love it, and I love the curve. And Martin clearly didn't love it, but whatever.
And I think that's when you were doing the, where you've got your quilting. When you did it on your shirt and...
Oh, yes, this idea of having exposed knots.
Yeah.
Like messy but on purpose. I don't think you can even see it. See, so I've kept all my ends
on the front.
I really love this piece, but I think it's mostly because I love that green.
Yeah.
It's funny how one whole fabric can make a thing, right?
Yeah, it's lovely. The next one was mine, and I had two panels that I think I brought a random pack of studio bits from Jessie Chorley.
And you remember the names. This is really good.
So I had two that were matching. So I gave one to Catherine and I kept one, and so we were to do something with it. So I kind of cut mine up a bit, and we also had to use two new to us embroidery stitches.
Yes, you did that.
Yeah. So I did turkey work. I'll that up here, and my other one was...
Which is kind of like a pom-pom, really, like a floppy pom-pom look.
I think was couching around the edge.
I don't think it was. I think it was that. It was that because I copied you.
Oh, that stacked. Yes, it was. You're right. Like a stacked blanket stitch on the roof. Yeah, you're right.
Yes.
It wasn't the couching at all.
And Fiona had finished this before I had even started, and I was really stumped, and I didn't know what to do. And then he showed it to me cut up, and I was like, oh my, I'm allowed to cut it up. So I did.
Yeah.
I went for subtle.
I think I cut off the sun and the moon that were on there.
But just the fact that you even cut it, because I didn't know.
Didn't think. Yeah.
And it's funny, we're such a rule breaker. Sometimes I'm like, am I allowed?
It was quite a big piece, so
it was.
You know,
and I think I've kept the rest anyway.
Not the house.
Anyway, I just got a bit carried away. I really enjoyed this, so I cut out the house, and my two embroidery techniques were. Weaving stitch, and I posted on Instagram just how I just got fed up with it, and it's a holy roof. It needs repairs. I couldn't be bothered anymore. And then my other technique was that, what did you call it? Stacked blanket stitch?
Yeah, I think that's what it's called.
Okay, and that was my rug. It was like a rag rug on the front.
Oh, that's right.
I also lost the will. I think I did 2 rounds of that because life is short.
Yeah.
I'm just not very good when people tell me I have to do something, so I was a bit annoyed by it.
And you kept your bird on the bag.
And I kept both birds. They were so beautiful. I thought I can't lose them. So I love this fabric. I think this fabric is Japanese. It's from Stitch Kitchen.
Yeah, I've had
second-hand.
I've had that fabric, but I vaguely think I might have got it at store beginning with S that we don't go to.
Oh yes, I'm boycotting Spotlight. But I buy second-hand from Stitch Kitchen.
Yeah, so that's where I thought initially I'd. I'm pretty sure I got a piece of that.
Okay.
And it was a Japanese fabric.
See, it's got a look, right? There's a whole aesthetic that's quite nice, and it was very pretty. It was also really sweet because I don't. I just don't shop like that. I love Jessie Chorley's work, but I've never bought it. Like, I'm so quick and easy with my credit card when it's like Guatemalan textiles. or like a book on textiles that I want. But when it's like other things, I think, well, no, Catherine, you've not got enough.
Yeah.
But I was super grateful. So is the next one mine? The next one's mine, and it was text, because I had ulterior motives. So you go first, because it was my prompt.
What are we up to now?
Text.
August. Oh, yeah, text.
August, yeah.
Okay, so mine was sort of based on something I saw on Pinterest, and I've done it on used 2 or 3 different blue, thicknesses of floss, so that I got, one words that looked heavier done than the others, and darker.
Done is better than perfect, is what it says. In case it's flipped, I'm not sure if it will be flipped.
And I did it on a hanky too. I think I must have had a wee hanky op shop buy or something at the time. So I was like, oh, I've got to use one of those for something.
I'm sure I have one hanky. She has a lot.
Whatever we got.
Oh, whatever. Very beautiful. I was so taken with this piece when you showed me. Very beautiful. It's really funny because you can be really pleased with your work, but you're also like, oh, I wish I'd thought of that. It's a very inspiring way of working.
Actually, I think that pink that I put in the flowers too, I think I had purchased a day that we met one another for lunch. And so I put it in that month's piece. Just as a memory of...
Because we're both of a certain age.
Have a picnic lunch at your office.
I'm very fancy. I say, do you want to come to my office and we'll just have a free lunch with our own food? I'll make you an instant coffee. Yeah. But she doesn't drink coffee, so it's fine.
I'm easy.
I'm very fancy. This is what you get from friendships with me. Op shopping and like free sandwich that you make yourself. Like I'm not giving you a sandwich. Okay, so I did. We're also in that age group where like remembrance pieces are kind of important. Funny. I'm sure it's very common. Okay, so I did this piece because it's a remembrance piece. These are both my parents' signatures. Actually, that's not true. This is my dad's signature, which is absolutely ridiculous, and we loved it growing up. We thought it was the coolest thing that an adult was allowed to have that signature. Hector Barriga Reategui. And my dad was a lawyer. He had to sign a lot of documents. I mean, the amount of time he would have wasted. And my mum, I haven't been able to find her signature. It is fabulous. Yeah. It's like, he really felt like he took up space in the world, my dad. And I can't find my mum's signature. So what I did, I've got it somewhere, but I can't find it. My sister's theoretically looking for it. She's moving house, so maybe she'll find it. But I did find a piece of paper that had her first name, her surname, as it would have been in Scotland, but then her second surname. That we don't use second surnames in England or Scotland. We just use your first surname, which is your dad's usually. But what was very cute about this piece is that, so my mum went to live in Peru when she was 36, met my dad after like 2 weeks and married him like after a couple of weeks. Wow. My mum always said that, once you get to that age, you just know. You just know. Age. Yeah. And she would have been considered an old maid, I think, back in the day. Yeah. Because, it wasn't the modern time. Yeah. She would have been in her 80s now if she was alive. So, women married at 20, 19.
Would it have been quite upsetting to her family that she married so quickly and married someone from Peru?
No, I never got that vibe. Right. No, I think my mum was always very different from her siblings. Her 3 sisters married literally the boy next door. Right. A different one. So I think they knew. My mum had travelled. For a woman of that time, so I think she was about 7 during the Second World War, because she remembers that on the radio. She remembers being scared. Right. So it was that generation. And she had travelled to Egypt, to Canada, to New Zealand. She actually came to New Zealand. She got engaged to someone in New Zealand. Wow. Something happened.
Maybe that's where you get your love of travel and...
Maybe. But she was she was an incredible woman. But what I thought was very cute about this is that she would have arrived in Peru age 36 and then learned the language. And here she has written... Okay, so here is an N for nombre. So if she had to write documents in Spanish, we use the first name, then you use your father's surname, and then your mother's surname. So my in Peru until the age of 18. I was Catherine, Jean, Barriga, MacDonald. That was
okay. Right.
And the minute I got off the plane in England, I just dropped the MacDonald because we didn't use it.
Mm-hmm.
But she's written N for name, for nombre, and then she's written P for paternal surname, and then she's written M for maternal surname. So she needed prompts to remember what she had to do.
Yeah.
Which I thought was super cute. And then I constructed her signature by copying different elements from this book of accounts that we had.
Oh,
So
okay.
I remember how I've made it up.
Yeah.
So it's E de barriga, E de barriga, which is like off barriga, which offends me greatly, but that's how they used to do things back in the day. So.
Yeah.
So this is a lovely piece, and when I find her signature, I will use
Put
it.
that on there too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's lovely.
My favourite blue again, and man's shirt, because they're always blue.
Yeah,
My favourite green.
And green.
My favourite green from that shirt. Oh, and that was the other thing I was doing. It's green because I grew up basically in the Amazon rainforest area, and so green for the greenery.
I grew up in Invercargill.
What colour are you going to use?
I don't know. Long way away from you.
But if you were living in Peru, it would sound quite exotic. That I grew up in Invercargill.
Probably.
Yeah, where I grew up, was not very exotic. And the blue is because my mum was Scottish, grew up in Scotland, and so this represents the skies in Scotland.
Yeah.
There we go. Oh, this was your prompt, wasn't it?
This one was mine, and it was to use denim. So
This is beautiful.
I had this done quite quickly. I don't know. Just sort of
Everything she's done really quickly.
So I had a not that my friend knows. I had a she gave me some clothes to give to an op shop or something, and there was a denim skirt in there, so I took that and cut that up.
So you don't have a bag full of denim that you bought years ago?
No, I don't.
Okay, not everybody has that then.
So I did a squares with the Liberty. I sort of liked the light and prettiness of the Liberty with the, rough denim. So I used the raw reeds that was around the bottom of her skirt, put around the bottom, around the edge, like a border sort of on it.
It's very pretty.
And my favourite bright pink silk thread. So
it's much prettier in real life, I have to say.
Oh no, I didn't do just quilting in silk. I did. I quilted it using that sort of orangey colour that would have been on jeans.
Oh, so you didn't rescue the thread?
No. I matched the thread.
Yeah, it's very beautiful. It does look like that mustard denim.
And that's what I used the pink water app to pop it onto the bunting. So. Yeah.
I've been deconstructing a tablecloth for my quilt, and I am rescuing some of the blanket stitch thread.
Oh, yeah?
It's ridiculous, but kind of fun as well.
Yeah.
This is very, very pretty in real life.
Taking apart denim seams on.
No, but the thing is, it's like there's a trick. If you pick it from the right side, it just goes.
Then it just pulls. Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Okay, so this was denim. I just didn't know what to do. I do have a bag of denim. It's like from the kids' leftovers and from buying in the op shop, because at one point I was doing something with. Oh yeah, I've got a rug. I've got like at some point I had like 40 denim pieces that I bought in op shops.
Did you?
Yeah, but all I've done is like one rug for my front step. It's ridiculous.
No, I never really look at denim.
Oh no, and I did no. I did make a wedding quilt for a friend.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't even a very close friend. I just felt like I made this massive king size quilt.
Did you?
Yeah.
Poor.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a good friend.
I haven't found it in the op shop yet. Okay, so I didn't know what to do, so in the end I just decided to use sashiko techniques. Because I hadn't done it before. I love this. This is called pomegranate. This is the pomegranate stitch, and I actually loved it. And just to show, you may think I'm perfect, but I'm not. Intentional mistake.
A mistake.
A massive mistake. I was like, I'm not undoing it. Yeah. It's actually quite mathematical, like in a geometrical sort of way. So it was kind of. It did my head in. Yeah.
I have done one. I went to a lady's house along the hill. There was a petri dish or something, an outfit doing they had a whole lot of craft people, and you could buy their course and go to their house and learn what they were, good at.
It rings a bell, but I don't know if it rings a bell from Martin.
It's not going anymore.
Right.
But I did do a wee coaster with her.
Nice.
But I felt she didn't kind of teach us much.
I know, sometimes it's just chats, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like Kay Fassett. We found out we went to the Kay Fassett workshop like 15 years ago. Yeah.
It'd be more than that.
You still have to find the photos, so I'm sure I had bad hair.
It was when I found the photos of the quilt I've done, but I haven't found the photos of the people in.
I think it was a group photo. I want to say that was a group photo. Anyway, it's funny.
Yeah.
So funny.
Which maybe I need to get the 3 laptops with the photos I've got, but I can't get into the laptops.
Yeah.
It might be where the photos are.
Yeah. I never made the quilt.
Right. I did.
It was not my intention really to make the quilt. My intention was just to meet Kay Fassett
and
hang out.
And Brendan.
I mean, Brendan was lovely, but he was not the intention for going. I've just noticed this beautiful quilt painting you've got in your...
Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it?
This,
that other one I got, that other painting I got for my 2nd or 3rd birthday, I think, from friends of Mum and Dad.
Oh, how adorable is that? Cute.
Yeah.
Fiona is just so lovely.
Quite apt, I thought, that it's got kittens playing with balls of wool and balls and stuff.
Yeah, knitting needles.
It hasn't been on the wall for a long time, and I just came across it a couple of years ago, and it's like, oh, that can go in the sewing room.
Amazing that you've kept it. Okay, so I enjoyed doing the technique. What I didn't like is that Martin saw it and then said, oh, it looks like a sailboat. So it's rather ruined it for me that this is a sail and this is a boat.
You can't unsee it.
I can't unsee it, yeah. Now the next one was my technique again. Off we go.
So
beautiful work, this one.
Use beads.
Use beads, I said.
Which I haven't done a lot of. I don't know why I've got lots of beads. So I sort of, I don't know, cheated a wee bit and had a butterfly. So I beaded the butterfly.
And it's, you can't really see it that well on the camera, but it's very effective in person. Yeah. You did a lovely job.
Really through the middle of it. I've done a bit of wool embroidery too with Fleur Wood wool. So
it's very pretty.
And
that gave me the permission. Yeah, it was. I think it's because you didn't do a lot of beading. It was enjoyable. I lost the will.
Yeah, well, I thought initially I was going to do all the wings, and I got to the middle and started going out, and it's like, no, I'm not going to fill all of those up.
And I love how you've done. You'll see it at the end. You've done the French knots in wool, so they're really chunky.
Yeah.
It's like a wool bead.
Quite a lot of texture to it.
Yeah, I do love that. It's very pretty. I did. I didn't enjoy beading. I think this was too much. Anyway, I love the fringing. I enjoy doing the fringing. Oh, see the beads.
Found them.
I found these in the transfer station at Oamaru, and I bought them for $2. It's a little Tupperware container, like Sistema little one.
It's such good colours.
Yeah, and I was drawn to it.
I would have seen those. I would have picked them up too.
Yeah. Right, so I did beading at the end because I thought that would be fun if it kind of moved. Then I did a bird, which Martha said. And then Fiona saved the day because it's a pea stuff. I was like, thank you. It's like the pea stuff that ate too much. But I've seen these pea stuffs but I've seen them drawn.
Yeah. And
they're very effective. It's very flat and stuff. Maybe because it was 3D and also my bad beading, because I was just so irritated by beading. But then once I finished, I think this took forever. And then once this was finished, I just kept adding. I added lots here and on this side. And the fabric is denim, and this is naturally dyed linen from my garden, and this is dyed with cochineal. So I did enjoy it. With hindsight, I'm pleased I did it. With hindsight. Okay, and the last piece that was your prompt?
The last piece was to use some fabric that told a story or had some sort of meaning for you. So I've used these 3 fabrics I've got through the middle here. Years ago worked in a children's clothing shop here in Dunedin called Brothers and Sisters. I worked there for about 5 years. I loved that job still to this day. A week won't go by when I don't meet someone who I used to come into the shop, or
isn't that funny?
See children that were tiny when now they're walking their own babies up and down Highgate and stuff.
And you still recognise the parents?
Oh yeah.
Gosh, isn't that amazing?
Yeah, I still recognise a lot of them. Or people will see me and say, how do I know your face? And I'm like, oh, from Brothers and Sisters. Oh, that's so. Yeah, that was a great job. I loved it. So they had a factory here in Dunedin where they made their clothes. So these are a couple of the labels, Rough and Tumble and Esmeralda was the dress label. But I worked there with a woman who had, you know, I was really good friends with and had, you know, quite an impact on my life, called Jan. And she gave me, when I first started working there, and I was doing a bit of patchwork, so she gave me those 3 fabrics through the middle. And I kind of kept them and haven't really, I don't want to use them, I don't want them to be gone.
They won't be gone now.
So I've still got bits left, so I did something with them, and I had seen on Beck from So Be Curated, when she was going through some op shop stuff or a haul somewhere, she had these tiny little hexagon flowers. I thought, I need to have a go at those. Oh my god, they were so fun.
Oh, so you've done those recently?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
I thought you'd
had
had them for
fabric.
ages.
No.
And you fussy cut this one?
Yeah. But the fabric's so light that it just, you know, it's one of those fabrics that as you stitch it, it almost sort of all pulls apart.
And it needs a big seam allowance, right?
Yeah. So it was, 3's enough.
Yeah.
I loved them when they're done, but yeah.
It's very pretty.
It's pretty.
The gingham as well.
And the gingham on the back is because Jan had a lovely chair that she'd got recovered when we were working together. And sort of a raspberry and a cream cheek, and I always loved that chair. I was like, I want to grow up and get a checked chair too.
And
so
you've just shown me
in the background.
You've just shown me that quilt with a check. I think you've got an eye for checks.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe.
I think I've seen a lot of things that you do with checks.
This check was from a lovely lady in Australia called Nairi that I sort of met through Instagram, and we did a
internet friends.
Yeah, we did a swap of bits and pieces.
Oh, nice.
Op shop stuff and that slow stitch pieces.
Nice.
So yeah, that was from her.
Cool.
So that's it. That's my one.
And I've appropriated the meaning of the label Esmeralda because that's emerald in Spanish.
Yeah.
So in my head, because I speak Spanish.
Know that. Yeah.
You didn't know that?
No.
People don't extrapolate.
I don't. I've never thought of that as being a Spanish word.
They use it as a name in English.
I thought it was a girl's name.
Like if you see like a pirate film, there's usually someone called Esmeralda.
Right. Yeah. You're right.
It just means emerald.
Right.
Which is maybe why it appears in pirate films.
Yeah,
yeah, that's right. Yeah. I did. I was just like, I can make this fit. I used leftover huipil and skirt fabrics from Guatemala. So this is one huipil. So a huipil is the traditional top item of clothing for the indigenous women of Guatemala and Mexico. Probably the other countries that are nearby as well, but I haven't visited. I've only visited Guatemala and Mexico. So a lot of the same people, like Mexico and Guatemala are a political division. You know, a lot of those, I mean, there's I want to say hundreds. There's definitely hundreds of indigenous languages in Mexico, Guatemala, but I presume that means that there are hundreds of ethnic groups, but I'm not sure. Yeah. But anyway, I did go and I bought, I love this. This is one of the groups, and it's all woven. The background is hand woven. Everything is hand woven.
It's beautiful.
It is really lovely.
The brighter pink texture pieces are gorgeous.
But it's all the same piece, so this would have been like towards the bottom, and then this lower down. This would be the most bottom part, and this was next to that on the floor, on the bottom of this.
Yeah.
And they dye it with cochineal, and then they rinse it to make it cry.
Oh, okay.
So that it's kind of, the colour runs. So instead of calling it running, the colour didn't run, the colour cried. I think that's really beautiful. It's one of my favourite. And in fact, that's on my almost bought card of this company. Because I don't have any links with indigenous people in Guatemala or any indigenous sellers. But there's an Australian seller that deals with Guatemalan indigenous people. She sells things as part of her shop. She makes cushions out of the huipiles.
Oh, okay.
But she also, in a fair trade sort of way, she connects indigenous people with people like me to sell in a fair trade basis vintage huipiles.
Oh.
So I'm like, almost there.
Almost, yeah.
And then this is a skirt. They use these wrap skirts, and it's kind of like a denim look.
really
Beautiful.
It's such a nice. It's so nice to touch.
Yeah. So I just bought second-hand and damaged material, clothing in Guatemala. That's what I'm always drawn to. So it is very soft. It has been well worn.
That's what I wanted. Benedict messaged me yesterday about being in this area of Japan. This is one of my sons. And he said, there's so many second-hand shops here, you would love it. And I was dying for him to say, can you just go in and see if they've got, some clothing or some indigo dyed something that you can bring home. But
You didn't?
No, I didn't think. If he had a bit more time, maybe he would, but no.
It's tricky because I just think, certainly with Martin, he would get the wrong thing. And he would mean so well.
The boys would be, if I sent them a picture, or they'd get it, but no, Martin. I just know him and Phoebe were walking up hills and looking at views
is that what they're
and
doing? Yeah.
things, and so
You could say, when you get tired of the temples, go to this shop.
He started sending me cat photos.
He's tired of the temples.
I'm like, hashtag cute cats in Japan.
Oh, I would be interested in...
sacred though.
Oh, okay. I'd be interested to know the name of the island where they're at.
Yeah, they've come off the island and they're in, but I can get the name.
Yeah.
Somewhere called, maybe Omenchi or something. A port city, but it did look lovely, beautiful views, and sort of you could see islands around.
Yeah, because we are going to Europe next year, and then after that, it's probably just going to be much cheaper holidays near New Zealand.
Yeah.
So no Europe.
That's a problem, isn't it? It's so far away.
Yeah. Anyway, this is another repeat, so this is not married to these. But anyway, I just love... Going to Guatemala was like one of the high points in my life. Guatemala and Mexico, I love them almost as much as I love Peru. And if I wasn't Peruvian, I'd probably love it more. And these are just some favorite fabrics that I bought secondhand. I love this blouse. I bought it. I was very excited, and my child judged me, and she said, it looks a bit like Nana clothing.
Ready for Nana clothing.
And I was kind of... I was obviously in a bit of an insecure moment when she said it, because I also didn't fit.
Okay, that goes in the cut-up
pile. It was a bit tight here, quite busty, so it kind of... So I thought, fine, I'll cut it up. And these are two men's shirts that I love. I have not removed the threads very well here from the buttons, probably. Aren't these gorgeous? And
I like that bottom one.
And I love this. I don't have a lot left. I have plenty left. But this is paisley, and I was just saying to Fiona, I don't really like paisley, but I love this. So anyway, so that was it.
Very nice.
That was the epic 12 altogether.
Yeah, that was great.
It's been great fun, right?
Yeah.
And 1 month to do a thing has been plenty good enough.
Yeah.
We are going to continue next year with a thing. So we're doing mini quilts next year. We've already chosen our 12. We're going to start in January, right?
How organised.
No, right? So yeah, this is great because again, it's a way of doing a technique without making a king size quilt.
Yeah.
So I think we've even got, have we got a Raro quilt or a Hawaiian quilt in the list?
I think it was Hawaiian, there was Kawandi,
there was pineapple quilt.
And Tivai.
Oh, Tivai is a Raro, yeah.
It covered quite a...
like unusual, not, because I tend to make very, very common quilts.
Hand-dyed fabrics, and it covered quite a good spectrum of...
And I think one of them is with the Indian fabrics as well, right? That I bought, yeah. So it's very cool. We're very excited about that.
Randomly picked all of those. It's worked out quite well, I thought.
Yeah, Fiona did a random number generator, and I was doing the counting.
That was very technical.
It was like digital / very analog. Okay, well, so this was it. I will follow with a video of them so that you can see them closely. And that's it. Thank you for watching, and I hope this has inspired you to do something like this.
Okay.
Takite.
Bye.
Fiona's quilt. Fiona's banner. What were you telling me?
Oh, how I've enjoyed doing things that I've made up, or it's helped me sort of find my own sense of style, really, and how I do things.
That's really lovely, because I remember you talking about that you fancied the idea of having a prompt, and then you had to figure out what you wanted to do.
Yeah, not having someone's pattern that you have to follow, being able to sort of work it out for yourself and do. It's made me think of how many decisions you have to actually make when you're doing something. So I probably appreciate all those people's patterns a whole lot more because
Yeah.
they've had to make all those decisions on what colour and where to put things, and you know, when you buy a pattern it's all done for you.
Mm.
Yeah, it does make me think about those things, which is good.
Yeah. Maybe I need to do a thing where I have to follow a pattern. That won't be possible.
No.
I would rebel.
Actually, I don't know that I'd enjoy that now either.
Yeah, isn't it interesting?
Yeah.
Okay, the reason we've done it the two different ways is because I did mine left to right and Fiona did hers right to left, so that's why, or vice versa, we're not sure. But she figured out
The
that
whole lineup.
yeah, the lineup is flipped. And I'm doing it upside down. I don't know if I'll have to be able to flip the video because we realized we put them here and then this is very sunny, so there'll be a shadow.
It's actually a little bit windy too, so you might get a bit of wind noise.
Yeah, they might not be able to hear us, but that's okay.
Anyway.
It's lovely and sunny though, it's very sunny. I'm wearing shorts, I'm wearing mum shorts.
No, you're doing well. I haven't got into short shirtless. I love your green toes.
Oh,
It's in such a nice colour.
I've had, yeah, I always do my nails, my toenails and my hand nails, different colours.
Yeah.
Little shot of my green toes. The reason it's got my toe ring, I'm having another midlife crisis. Yeah, it's my treat, having my manicure and pedicure. This is probably one of my favourites. Which is hilarious because it's quite subtle, and I'm not really a subtle person. But maybe I'm aspirationally subtle. What was that?
The colour-wise isn't as bold.
In your
It's
face.
primary coloured sort of, yeah.
Yeah. So that's it. We finished, we completed. We did not give up. We completed the project. We hope you've enjoyed it, and we shall see you another time. Ka kite.